back to Onyx Food Hill. Thank you for joining me in today's recipe. I will be showing you how to make empanadas. Empanadas are crescent-shaped pastry filled with meat, cheese, fish, or vegetables. These are usually baked or fried in oil. The process of making empanadas is so simple, so you're going to start by making your dough. In a large bowl, bring in 3 cups of all-purpose flour. To it, add half teaspoon of salt. Wait this to mix together. Bring in your cold butter. The butter is diced into smaller pieces. That way it's easy to mix this into the flour evenly. Use your clean hands to mix the butter into the flour. This can also be done in a food processor. So after mixing this for about 2 minutes by hand, you should end up with a crumbly flour just like this. Next, go in with 1 beaten egg and drizzle in half cup of water. You can add a little at a time and then continue mixing. You can drizzle more water if the dough needs water. Gather the dough to form a smooth ball. Don't over knead this, it doesn't need much kneading. So once you have a very smooth dough just like so, you can leave it in the same bowl. Go ahead and cover this tightly with a plastic wrap. Place the dough in the fridge to rest for an hour while you prepare your filling. And for the empanadas filling, I have a couple of vegetables here. They look really colorful, and I also have my ground beef. Place a large pan on the stove top. Add 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Once the oil is heated, add half cup of chopped red onions to the pan and saute. After sauteing your onion for 2 minutes and it's slightly translucent, you can go in with 600 grams of ground beef. Use a spatula to break the beef apart. Once you've broken up the larger chunks of the beef, cook this for 5 minutes on medium heat until it's no longer pink. After cooking your beef for 5 minutes, you can go in with 3 minced garlic cloves. Stir this to cook for about 30 seconds. Also go in with a 1/4 cup of chopped celery, 1 large chopped carrot. And you can also bring in 1½ cup of finely diced potatoes. So you make sure all your veggies are uniform so you cook evenly. Now stir everything to mix with the beef. It's time to season the beef. You can add in 1 teaspoon of paprika, half teaspoon of chili powder, half teaspoon of cumin, half teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of thyme, 2 crushed bouillon cubes, and lastly 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now mix this, let everything combine nicely. And once everything is nicely combined, you can go in with 1.5 cup of water. Stir this again and let it combine nicely. Place a lid over and bring this to a boil on medium heat for about 15 minutes. So after cooking this for 15 minutes, you can test the potatoes and the beef. If they are both tender, if they are not, you can add a little bit liquid to it and continue cooking until the potatoes and the beef are all tender. Next, we are going to go in with half cup of frozen peas. This looks really colorful. Now stir this together to combine and continue cooking for the next 5 minutes. And we have cooked this for the next 5 minutes and all the liquid is absorbed. Okay, you can test for salt and pepper and adjust if need be. Meanwhile, this tastes so good and it's ready. So I'm just going to remove this from the stove top and leave it to cool down. Now, take out the dough from the fridge. And transfer it to a lightly flat surface. Use a knife to share the dough into 2 equal parts. We are going to roll the dough out into a rectangular shape. Once your dough is rolled out to a thin rectangular shape, just about a 1/4 inch thick, you can decide to use a pot cover or a rounded bowl. Just place it on the surface of the dough. This is going to help give you a perfect rounded circle. You should be able to get about 2 to 3 cycles from this. And you can use your hand to remove the excess dough from the rest of the cycles. Now we have our cut out dough ready just here. You can keep the rest aside. So you bring your filling close by and scoop about 2 tablespoons of the filling on top of the dough. So you try to flatten this a little bit with the spoon and let it occupy just one side of the dough. You can bring the other side of the dough and wrap it over. Once you have folded the dough in half, use your fingers to press the edges together. And you can use a fork to press this firmly just to give it a beautiful design. Gently lift this from the surface. And you now have your beautiful empanada. Arrange this on a baking tray lined with a parchment paper. And continue with the rest of the dough and your filling. So I have my cut out dough flattened out, and then the filling. Once you're done filling up all your empanadas, it's time to glaze them with egg wash. So I've got 1 egg here mixed up with 1 tablespoon of water. I'm just going to use my pastry brush, dip it into the egg wash and use it to brush the empanadas. The egg wash gives your empanadas a golden color once they come out of the oven. Meanwhile, you can preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. While you're doing this, once you're done glazing your empanadas, go ahead and bake them in a preheated oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until they are golden brown on the surface. So guys, after 25 minutes of baking your beef empanadas in the oven, they should turn out beautifully golden as this. They smell really amazing. You can leave them to cool down just before serving. And here are our beautiful empanadas. They look beautiful and taste savory. Let me show you what this looks like inside. Yummy! They don't only taste savory, they also look really flaky on the outside. I hope you have learned how to make beef empanadas at home. If you tried this recipe, please let me know what you think about it. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. You can share it with your friends. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. You can click the bell button so you don't miss any video. Until next time guys, I love to see you soon. Have a nice time. Bye.